What's going on, Sneaker Talk fam? Welcome back to another review on Sneaker Talk 365, and today we're taking a look at a pair of Air Jordan 1 highs that are not in the typical box that we're used to. This is the Air Jordan 1 High Zoom Comfort. Now, before we dive into the Jordan 1 High Zoom Comfort, let's just quickly take a look at the box and the packaging, since this is not something we are really used to seeing at all out of the Jordan 1. Typically, Jordan 1 boxes are black and red, as you know, but this pair, or this box in particular, is like a cardboard brown and black. The color code for these is black, chili red, white, and the retail price for these was 180 Canadian dollars. This is what the retail price for Jordan 1 highs used to be a few years ago. Now they've bumped it up to about 215 or 245 Canadian, depending on the pair. So a little cheaper compared to your other Jordan 1s that you can buy right now for retail, and these are actually more comfortable, which is what you would hope for, but we're gonna get into that later into the video. And in terms of American retail price, I think it was 150 US dollars. Opening up the box, what do you get? Well, you get the ones, of course, but you also get this cool little brown cardboard like paper thing right here, and it's really unique. It actually is not something we ever see that Jordan brand packages with modern Jordans these days, and it kind of basically just goes through a bunch of the things about the shoe, some information about it, talking about the zoom in the midsole or insole right there. And yeah, it's cool. Not something we're used to seeing. So you get this, and then you also get this tissue paper, which is not your typical tissue paper as well. I know it's weird talking about tissue paper, but we gotta do it. We gotta do it. It kind of is like this see-through material, and typically the Jordan 1s have like a paper, like a gray paper instead of this. So just another thing to know. Now, talking about the smell. How do these shoes smell? I know, important question you probably are asking yourself. And they don't smell like the typical Jordan 1 highs that we're used to smelling. I know it's really disappointing. I think the main reason that is because this shoe has no leather on it. These don't use a leather upper compared to other Jordan 1 highs, and I think that's where a majority of the smell does come from that we're used to attributing to the Jordan 1 high. I'm honestly not too sure what to call the materials on this shoe. Like, it's a felt-like material, and then the parts here with the black feel like it's almost like a nubuck, but not quite. So it's just a really interesting sneaker to hold and feel. Like, the texture is not something we're used to feeling. I feel like I'm just like groping up the shoe in front of you guys. But with that said, let's take a quicker look at the details, show you guys these things up close, and then we'll talk about the sizing, and most importantly, because this is like they switch it up, we're gonna talk about the comfort, because this is the Zoom Air Jordan 1. So taking a look at the black and red accents on the shoe, the black accents have this kind of like weird nubuck felt material, as I just mentioned to you guys, and it does feel very similar to the red material on the shoe as well. The material is near identical, but for whatever reason they applied like kind of a almost tumbled looking texture on the black portions. Besides that, you have that red material going up the eyelets right here, and one thing that they really switched up on this is, I don't know why, but you can like do this with the flap of the eyelets. It's really something that we're not used to seeing. So there is that thing to note. And then you also have the Air Jordan Wings logo in black debossed into the red material on the side. Then going down the center of the shoe, you have a black tongue with black shoelaces, and then you have the Zoom Air on the tongue in this patch instead of the Nike Air that we're used to seeing. Now, this is just because it is a Zoom Air Jordan 1, and it's like this for all the other like Zoom Air Jordan 1s for this year. Now, one thing that really does throw me off that I don't like about the shoe is the tongue. They have this like extra yellow fabric that just sticks out. It's almost like a pull tab kind of thing, but it's kind of obnoxious looking. I really don't like it. I wish they just kept it off. Like, why they include that? Besides that, there are a couple other hits of yellow on the shoe. Going back to the tongue, you can actually see some contrast stitching, which kind of reminds me of the Union Air Jordan 4. So you can see that contrast stitching right there. And then the shoe actually does something we're not used to seeing when it comes to Jordan 1s, where it has like a layered look, like a layered approach. So typically the Nike swoosh sticks out of the Jordan 1 ever so slightly, like a slightly raised up material, because it's like stitched onto it, right? But this time around it's the reverse. So if you look real close to that Nike swoosh right here, there's actually, it feels like it's a material underneath the black. So it goes like red, black, or black and red is a tie in terms of how high or where it is on the shoe, and then you go under a level and you have that yellow swoosh. So that material is also underneath right here on the side, and it wraps around the ankle as well. You also have this yellow hit with the inside of the tongue too. Another thing to note is these do have like a spongy off-white vintage. I don't know why, I just think of the sponge material being exposed, like this foam being exposed. I feel it just reminds me of off-white, but it does have an exposed foam collar right here, which is definitely something I know a lot of people aren't gonna feel. I honestly don't like it that much on this shoe. And then it's also like that on the tongue as well. You can see the exposed foam can actually overreaches to the front of the shoe in some areas right here. Another thing to note about this colorway, it is super reminiscent of the Atlanta Hawks or the Highlight Reels Air Jordan 1 High, which use completely different materials and also have kind of like a glossier kind of look. So if you're say you're a fan of this colorway but you're not digging the materials and stuff that they use, check out the Atlanta Hawks or the Highlight Reel Jordan 1 Highs. It's basically an identical colorway to that silhouette. Now besides that, let's just take a quick look at the booty. Bam, there you go, that's a look at the back. And then you also have the midsole right here in all white, and the outsole is pretty cool. It's a two-tone outsole. You have red on the inside and then you have black on the perimeter. All right, now let's get to what you guys came here for, the comfort. These have your regular Air Jordan 1 insole. So no special insole, it's this blue foam that we're always used to seeing. It says Zoom Air instead of the Nike Air or Air Jordan logo. And actually the Zoom Air, it's actually inside the shoe integrated into it. So you can't take the amazing comfort that the shoe has and add it to, say, a regular Air Jordan 1 High, which was a little disappointing. So I was like, oh man, I can't make my breads and my Chicagos feel that much better. But yeah, in terms of comfort, getting back to how these feel, these are the most comfortable Air Jordan 1 of all time. These are so comfortable. I wish every Jordan 1 could feel like this. I typically give Jordan 1s like a 6.5 to 7 out of 10. I would give these easily an 8 to 8.5 out of 10 because of how great they feel on feet. So if you were one of those people that were like really against wearing Jordan 1s because they're quite flat and they weren't that comfortable for you, I would definitely give these shoes a shot. Maybe not this colorway, but there are a bunch of other colorways available as well. Now in terms of sizing, I would recommend going your true size. I'm typically a size 10. Grabbed a size 10 for these and they fit me perfectly. Now if you do have a wider foot, half a size up is of course recommended. And actually going up half a size isn't that bad at all for when it comes to Jordan 1s. If you wanted to get like one of those anti-crease things that you throw in the front of the toe box, you could do that. But I don't think these shoes are going to crease that bad because these don't have a leather toe box, right? So this shoe, like the material isn't going to, at least for now, at least from my first impression of the shoe, I don't think these are gonna age in a way where the creases are gonna be really ugly looking in comparison to other shoes like the Air Jordan 1 Mid or some of the Jordan 1 Highs. With that said, I'll leave the Jordan 1 High Zoom Chili Red linked down below if you guys want to shop them. There'll be links to places like Foot Locker, Champs, Nike. This is a shoe that I've been seeing sitting for quite some time. Other colorways are selling pretty quickly, but this colorway is a little harder for some people to wear just because the red, the yellow, and the black are so bold. It's a little harder for some people to match. With that said, of course, if you made it to the end of the video, comment down below what you guys think about this shoe. I want to know, is this colorway a turn off for you? How do you feel about the Zoom technology being applied to Jordan 1s? Do you want them to apply Zoom tech to future Jordan 1s that are not like this kind of style, like an OG one maybe? Like maybe a shattered backboard 4.0 with Zoom technology? Or just like, you know, cool looking ones like this that have Zoom. That would be really cool to have, you know. I would really appreciate that because the Zoom is so really ridiculously comfortable. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.